This is my friend Sean. He's a friend of mine for a little while, but already a brother. And he does police work in Las Vegas for most of your life,
I
right?
have, yeah. 10 years.
Your father was a cop, your grandfather was a cop, your great-grandfather was a cop.
It runs down through the line.
Yes,
Through the
yes,
line.
yes.
And mom, too. You can't forget mom.
Mom
Can't
was
forget
a
mom.
cop. But before that, they used to...
Before being a police officer,
before-
I worked in hospitality. I worked in the casino industry.
You see?
So I had the opportunity to open up Encore Beach Club, right? And that was in 2010. Yeah, you didn't know this, right?
Encore.
Yeah, Encore Beach Club.
You still have pool there?
Man, I have not been in years, And I always said what's funny is, coming into law enforcement, I said, at one point in time, I will go back into the hospitality industry just because I love that interaction, Always a good time. It's the one thing about law enforcement, right? It's either people want you there, right? You're helping them out, or
The other side.
the other side at their worst moments, right? But in hospitality, people come to Las Vegas. That's the best across the industry.
I agree. So what inspired you to become a police officer?
Well, there's two aspects. One, you have the generational side, right, of both my folks being police officers, but then I also have that passion for Las Vegas, right? Being born and raised here. This is, what I like to say, it's my city, and why not? What a better opportunity to give back, right?
I agree. Yes, and your brother is also a police
It's
officer.
the same, yeah.
See? So you guys did good.
Yeah, it is something, every day what's cool about police work is every day is something new, right? You'd never know 1 minute to the next, as you know.
Yes.
We could be sitting here for dinner, right? And then the next minute we're responding to somebody's crisis where somebody really needs our help, which is the unique side.
Remember how we met? I was in his car in the back with the handcuff and said, what are you doing here?
No, that's not accurate at all.
What some of the misconception about being a police officer in Las Vegas?
I think the biggest misconception, what we've seen recently, is that us as police officers are not normal human beings, right? And I think the biggest take that I have now, having some time on being a police officer, is at the end of the day, and you probably know this, that I'm just a normal human being, right? Another citizen, another person that has a family, go to school, go to church, right? Just do the normal stuff that normal human.
We go out, we eat normal food.
Right. I think the
So you don't need to only bagels.
No bagels. Do you want to know where that actually came from?
No.
Okay, so this goes back in history. From what I understand, this is before my time, but the reason why the donuts, and
not bagels, donuts.
The donuts, the bagels, because when officers were doing their reports back in the day, they would take it out and actually handwrite their reports. And they would take those reports to a donut shop because it was quiet. And that was their opportunity to go ahead and do it. So that's what I've been told. I don't know how accurate that is. I've heard it a few times. So I'm going to say it's pretty reliable. But going back to your question, I would say that the biggest misconception is that we're not normal human beings. Yeah, we do get, with any line of work, right, you do get that side where you have a negative interaction, or what we call, you get jaded over time, right? That's definitely there, but that's why as good police officers, we try to identify when that point comes, right? And then change it and have address it, because at the end of the day, I still have to sit here and eat food just alongside you, right?
Yes.
Again, it's a big misconception that we go out there and that we truly want to harm somebody, or there's a misconception that we actually want to take people to jail. That's the last thing I want to do, right? If I could have a simple conversation with someone, I'd much rather do that than have to run out there and then take them to jail, take them away from their families,
These are the actually glasses that Al Pacino uses in the Scarface.
Is it really?
The same one.
That's right.
Same exact one, yeah.
They're really good.
Yeah, I take a picture with Michael yesterday. You see, I put it next to each other. It was. You see?
Dude, Alex, yeah. Oh, that's great.
So, how do you manage stress that comes from your job to be in such a high stakes environment?
The stress is totally disengaging on my days off, or try to the best that I can, right? Because during the hours in here in Las Vegas, right, we work a 40-hour week. During that time, there's a lot of stuff that's going on. However, it is when that's all said and done, and when it's time to be done with the shift work, right, you totally have to disengage from it. So I try to do the best that I can. So whether that's actively being involved in the church or with the kids, that is a complete disengagement from what I do on a day-to-day basis.
Having Italian friends?
Friends outside of police work, having friends outside of police work, that helps significantly. Constantly working out, right, keeping the heart going, because as a police officer, right, when we're out there doing the job, there's a lot of up and down with the emotions, right? Adrenaline spikes coming back down, adrenaline spike back up. I work shift hours, which is 2 o'clock to midnight. Those hours, and if you do some research, shift workers who work the graveyard hours or swing shift can reduce their lifespan by like 15 years. So I do my best to combat that.
Yeah.
With, again, having good conversation like this, right? Completely disengaging. Yeah.
So looking ahead, what changes do you see for policing strategies in such a high tourist area like Las Vegas?
I would say that we've always done well with policing. We've always done well having a good relationship with the community. Never had those problems. If you look back, some of the other areas in the U.S., we'll keep it to the U.S. You look at some of the other states, the issues that they've had where the communities come out and have been against their law enforcement, I don't think you'll ever see that here in Las Vegas. I think all agencies in Southern Nevada and Northern Nevada do an excellent job with communicating to the community, inviting the community in, and actually allowing the community to have a voice what policing should look like. The biggest thing with our agency is meeting the community's expectations. And that is, I work for the community. What do you want to see out of your police agency? And we will continue to just progress that. And having police officers, so you talk about the future, talk about tourism, and we're one of the top tourist destinations in the world. So it is incumbent upon us to be able to communicate effectively to those that are visiting Las Vegas, allow them to have a good time within reason, right? Within reason.
So when you live with loser, then another a little loose, again, another place that is maybe very conservative, very
absolutely.
strict.
Absolutely. No, and
Because
you know,
it's
the
easy.
nice thing about Las Vegas is we're supported by our politicians. Or I should say the state of Nevada, we're supported as law enforcement. And we don't have the issues that other agencies have faced in the past, like when you have the civil unrest. We don't really have that. You saw a little bit of it when COVID, and then we had some protests. But even with that, you still had just community members and others from out of state that wanted to just voice their concern, which we always open as an agency. It only makes us better. It only makes us better.
Now, like both of us been in Vegas for a long time, how you think is evolving Las Vegas corporate? Like remember before you go to a casino, you know the valet guy and you don't pay for parking. Now it's becoming so corporate, it's so structured that I don't even feel more like it used to be, okay, I go to the casino, I know everybody. Now it's so much different. What do you think?
It has. Unique opportunity I had was still working at the Wynn when Steve Wynn was still on property.
Okay.
You don't really see that much anymore. Obviously, far removed from the industry, it's been quite some years, but you don't see that. However, I think as this generation as a whole, you're seeing, specifically Gen Z, returning back. They're kind of tired of what we would consider social norms, tired of the way in which it's gone. I believe history repeats itself, just like anything else. Will we get back to that time where you see owners actually walking the property and interacting? I don't think so, right?
It's one last year, it's the D.
That's it. That's it. So I don't think excuse me, I don't think that you'll get back to that point, but I think society, you're going to see a switch in society, right? Where you have people a little bit more willing to engage in those conversations, not be so standoffish. The generations that we have right now, especially millennials, we were taught a certain way to be independent, kind of stick to our own. We rely on technology, the social media aspect to gather our information. And what you're seeing with the Gen Z side is, yes, you still have that, but a big part of Gen Z is also tired of what society has pushed, right? And that's a whole nother political debate, right? Which we don't have time for, but you ask a question about the corporate side. I think you will see people more engaged as time goes on and actually wanting to respect and appreciate the history. Because we have so much history here in Las Vegas that we have lost over time, right? It's still there in the shadows. I think with the new generation, you may see that get brought back to life, surfaced.
Are you Gen Z? No, right?
I'm millennial.
Yeah.
That's it, baby. What category would that be?
I'm a Gen Z.
No, you're not Gen Z.
Yeah.
No.
X.
You're X.
That's
right.
Gen
Yes.
X. Yes.
You're Gen X. Which we're not too far off. We're not too far off with the expectations of each other.
Okay. This is it.
Yeah, what have you been doing?